Hi, I am Kathy Taylor, and today is day 20 of my 30 days of being more intentional about spending time with God. So, I just want to leave you with another nugget tonight, and I call it a nugget because it's just a little something, a little bite size or two pieces until you can get more. So I am going to jump right into it because I am super tired. Feel like my eyes are puffy, but anyway, not gonna go there. All right, so tonight I want to talk about forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Now, I have to remind myself of this often because I am just like many of you are super hard on yourself when you have a plan and maybe it doesn't work out, or you said you were going to do something and it doesn't work out according just as you wanted it to. So I encourage you all. One of the things that helped me was I had to actually write it down and put it on my desk. Kathy, forgive yourself. So I want to give you three quick points on what you need to do or what you need to consider when you think about forgiving yourself. So the first one is acknowledge the mistake or incident. A lot of times we try to brush it under the rug, especially when you are a leader or when you are very driven and something doesn't go right. You just try to, you usually ignore it or act like it wasn't a big deal, but you know it's really eating at you. So the first thing I encourage you to do is to acknowledge it. Acknowledge it, that whether it was a mistake or whatever the incident was, so that you can actually move on from that. Because if you don't acknowledge it, what happens is it's still lingering in your head. So don't ignore the emotions that come with, oh man, I messed up, or I can't believe that happened. Acknowledge it, but then move on. Don't linger there. All right. The second one is recognize when you are being extremely critical of yourself. Again, if you are one that you like to have things done a certain way, if you're super picky or whatever, a perfectionist, whatever term you want to give it, know when you are being super critical of yourself or extremely critical of yourself. Because let me tell you what that does. That gives the enemy an in your head. That gives him a chance to really have you beat up yourself about something you did. And my goodness, especially if you've done it more than once. So, and that goes hand in hand with why you need to acknowledge it and why you need to deal with that emotion so that you can move on. Because if you don't, that's what happens. You become very critical of yourself and you say, how did I end up here again? How did I do that again? Because I did it before, and now it's easier for you to start thinking about those things like, well, I'll never do this. I can't do this right. I can't do that right. So recognize it and recognize when you're being extremely critical of yourself. Um, and when that inner voice is bringing up old stuff, speak confidently about who God says you are. Now, here's the thing, you can't wait until that voice comes up or you start this process or you're going over it in your head to start thinking about, well, who did God say I am? Be intentional about having those things down in written form somewhere that you can quickly grab them. So when you are going down that rabbit hole or when you are going down that path of negativity, and putting yourself down, you know where to grab something quick. Now, you can absolutely grab the Bible. Or you can grab a devotional, but it's always good to have something that's personal to you. So that will require you to write something down, write things down, write affirmations down that are specific to you so that you have your arsenal close by when your inner voice starts to put you down or you become very critical of yourself. And then the third thing is show kindness and extend grace to yourself. You know, When we get really hard on ourselves about not accomplishing a task or not doing something, you have to remember you are human. Only God is perfect. I know. I know. I'm close, but not quite. No, just kidding. But um you have to really show yourself grace. And this is why it's needed for you to spend time with God so that He will remind you that His grace is sufficient. And when you die to self daily, when you remember the keep the main thing, which is allowing God to lead you and guide you on your paths, you will make mistakes, but His grace is sufficient. His grace and mercy will guide you. That's why one of my favorite Bible scriptures is Proverbs 3 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So, tonight we are talking about forgive yourself, extend grace, acknowledge your mistakes and the emotions that it brings. Recognize when you are being super duper critical of yourself and extend grace. I hope that helps you. I know it was a great reminder for me. Please take a moment and press subscribe. And if it helped you or you know someone that needs to hear this reminder, please share and like. And I can't wait to talk to you guys again tomorrow. All right, take care.